Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 2 of our slow and immersive playthrough of Yugoslavia. We spent the entire first episode just getting to grips with, Yugoslavia, the political situation, the geographic situation, the geopolitical situation, what it has, what advantages, disadvantages Yugoslavia has, and what potential options there might be for its development. And we are finally ready to unpause the game, having chosen, normally I like to leave the political focuses until a little bit later to see how the world develops in a world without historical AI focuses. But for Yugoslavia, this is largely internal politics related, and so we're just gonna have to pick a direction. As we discussed in episode 1, there isn't really any other viable path that is immediately obvious to me, at least. So we've decided to go with recognize the Soviet Union. It will take us 70 days. And the background to this is, while we have historically refused to recognize the Bolshevik state in the East, the time has perhaps come for us to reconsider our stance on the matter. While the Western democracies seem too weak to defend the minor powers, the Soviet Union may well prove a more reliable friend. And I think that makes sense. Let's unpause finally and get the clock ticking. I guess the way we'll position ourselves is that with Italy going fascist and Germany going fascist, while indeed allies are, not particularly in love with us, and, they're displaying some animosity towards us. Italy kind of doesn't like us, because Germany kind of doesn't care. We are being surrounded by fascist powers on our borders. We'll look to the Soviet Union and our fellow Russian Slavs to potentially aid us. And thus Yugoslavia has decided to recognize the Soviet Union. I'm going to put this on speed of 3. We're going to select our divisions. Actually, let's just sort this out. For the field marshal, I think we'll pick Milutin Nedic, given he's a thorough planner. He's got 3 better stats. And we'll pick Vladimir Chukovac for the defense and planning, maybe. Yeah, he seems like he's a trickster. Reconnaissance plus 25%. And we'll set our army to exercise to start generating that army experience, which we will need. We will also actually select our Air Force and just get them to exercise as well to start generating a little bit of XP, all of that. Okay, let's just consider this for a second. With current consumption rates, we'll be out of fuel in 8 months. Okay, well, good that we tried this, because we will need to invest in our fuel production if we want to have an air force, as we have discussed in episode 1. So our 3 air wings that are not even full are using 99 fuel per day, and we have 19.1 thousand fuel. Daily gain is 48, right? So kindly daily consumption is 120, 24 from the army. Maximum consumption could be 49. So an air consumption is 198. So maximum we could consume right now is about 250, and we only gain 48. Ouch. Yeah, so not much scope for that air force. So if we ever do have an air force, we need to consider. And how much experience do we actually get from pilot exercises? 0.06. Okay, frankly, that is a non-starter. In fact, what am I even thinking? If we're not going to use these airplanes, how about we simply do the following? Let's just keep the speed up a little bit. I think we could just get rid of these old airplanes. Maybe not the Icarus, but get rid of these Hawker Furies. Deselect. How do we just disband it? Disband Air Wing. There you go. And these NID-62 fighters, also disband these. Go to the international market and just Just sell them. I don't see any reason to have him here. So this is... Wait, hang on a second. We will disband this air wing as well. Wait, hang on. Who wants to buy? Austria wants to buy it. Okay. These are very old airplanes in any case. Hawker Fury. Help with our construction a little bit. We will deploy our 12 Icarus 2s. For no particular reason, I guess. So, okay. So that's a non-starter. But it's good that we tried that. Now we know we need to significantly improve our fuel generation. We can support our army, right? Our maximum consumption for the army is 46 per day, it shows. And current consumption for training exercises is 23. We produce 48. Okay. Speed up to 4 even. In terms of the Navy, I guess one thing we haven't talked about. We have a coastal defense ship, 1 destroyer, and 4 submarines. Which... Could we actually potentially just sell these now as well? No, if we just disbanded it, do we? I guess we could, but I think it would be a little... Kind of breaks the immersion. I mean, the state would never auction off all of its navy. 35 Hawker Fury. China wants to buy. Sure. Romania. Siam. Yeah, that's fine. With the Air Force, I can believe in it that we would get rid of those old airplanes because we will build our own. You know, those are the plan. We need 11,000 infantry equipment. Wow. That's just the 1936 equipment, alright? Yeah, 1936. We're basically on 1918 at the moment. Wow. Okay, we keep 2 factories here. 50, we're at maximum production cap, so we're producing 9 per day, so about 3,000 a year then. If it was 10, it would be 3,600. We take away about 2. It would take us 3 years to arm ourselves with the 1936 variant. Italy moves to annex the Sultanate of Orsa. Okay. Italy moves to annex the Sultanate of Orsa. Rumors are swirling that the annexation of the Sultanate of Orsa by Ausa Italian forces may be imminent. Italian troops have been amassing on the border of the isolated nation, and sources indicate that pressure is being exerted diplomatically in Ausa to force a capitulation without bloodshed. It remains to be seen whether Mohammed Yeo, what a name, can resist the Italian pressure, but the situation does not look promising. How dreadful. Sultanate of Ausa submits to Italian demands. Perhaps unsurprisingly to many, I'm gonna keep the clock running, Sultanate of Ausa has accepted Italian demands for subjugation. While the Afar government held out hope of avoiding occupation, it became increasingly clear that the colonial powers of the region would not be coming to their aid. Nor would neighboring Ethiopia be able to spare military personnel to support them. With the situation so bleak, the government bowed to Italian pressure to spare the people becoming the victims of unnecessary bloodshed. Italian forces are now moving into the small nation to take up new positions on the border with Ethiopia. It is unclear whether the occupation will be permanent or how it will impact the wider Italian conflict with Ethiopia. Unsurprising, unfortunately, indeed. The Western colonial powers have not surprised us. The time for socialism has come. Workers of the world, unite! We have nothing to lose but our chains. The remilitarization of the Rhineland. Germany has stationed troops in the Rhineland territory close to the French border in clear violation of the Treaty of Versailles. The local population cheered the German soldiers on, while the diplomatic reactions from France and Britain have so far been muted. It is no more than the Germans walking into their own backyard, a political commentator in Britain observed. Worrying. Indeed, the Allies' democratic powers are unable to offer any protection. But here we are. We've recognized the Soviet Union. We did get opinion of Yugoslavia plus 15. Turkey and Greece, however, have lost some opinion of us. That's okay. Form. Our next choices are form peasant councils. Gains peasant councils which grant daily communism support plus 0.2 for 730 days. So divided by 5, that would be, so it's 1 support per 5 days, right? So that would be, 500 days would give us 100 support, so 120 or so. That's a lot. Mutual economic aid. Gains Yugoslavian economic aid, which grants consumer goods factories minus 15% for 720 days. The Soviet Union gains Yugoslavian economic aid, which grants minus 15% for 365 days. And our next choice will be abolish the monarchy. Okay, and for that, it requires all of the following: form peasant councils and mutual economic aid, and more than 40% support for KPJ, which is the Communist Party. And then politics will change. KPJ becomes the ruling party. Public elections will not be held. Change in popularity of non-aligned, minus 20%. Replace peasant councils with empowered peasant councils, which gives us construction speed plus 10 and ideology drift defense plus 25%. Daily communism support minus 0.2. Hang on, how does that work? Empowered peasant councils gives us negative communism support? Oh, okay. So we're kind of in the middle there. Okay. We'll have to pick the next one. For example, Yugoslavian path to communism will replace empowered peasant councils with supreme peasant councils. Okay, so let's go ahead and form peasant councils. The working man must gain a larger presence in local politics. Establishing peasant councils will go a long way to having their voices heard. Alright, we'll establish peasant councils and get that support for communism going up. Because right now, our politics are fairly static. Okay, the Turkish Straits remain demilitarized. Turkey and the Soviet Union have failed to... Okay, so here we go. Yugoslavia recognizes the Soviet Union. Yugoslavia, even more stoically than other nations, has for years refused to recognize the communist state that is the Soviet Union. With today's announcement that the government of Yugoslavia will henceforth establish official relations with the Soviets, this policy has at last come to an end. Whether this means an opening of the Yugoslav state to communist influence remains to be seen, but the tone of their announcement was surprisingly cordial. They have some interesting ideas. Indeed. And the Turkish Straits remain demilitarized. Turkey and the Soviet Union have failed to come to an agreement on revising the Treaty of Lausanne, which was implemented after the nascent Republic of Turkey repulsed the Entente in the Turkish War of Independence. The Treaty of Lausanne demilitarized the Turkish Straits and opened both the Dardanelles and the Bosphorus Straits to unrestricted civilian military traffic, and it would appear that will continue to be status quo for the foreseeable future. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk condemned the decision in a speech broadcast to the nation, where he condemned how Turkey remains the target of dogged imperialism. British observers who were a part of the process are merely satisfied that conflict in the region has been avoided. At least war was averted, yeah. But interesting, they've remained demilitarized. Turkey gave in to the Soviet Union. Okay, insufficient resources. Yeah, a bit of steel would be nice. But we can't afford to trade our civilian factories away right now. Okay, we could get military high command, missing equipment production, light tank. Yeah, light tank. I mean, frankly, This light tank division that we have. There are 55 tanks, which, to be frank, we will never be able to replace. Breakthrough 20, hard attack 4.6. And one light tank battalion. We could just sell these, to be honest. I mean, infantry with anti-tank guns would defeat this. So I feel like we're going to take some progressive... Maybe let's review our military once the communists are in power. And I feel like it will be a nice way to roleplay the transition of power and the reset of priorities. We'll keep it at 4. Electronic mechanical engineering. Done. Let's just put this to 3. What else can we research? Mechanical computing. Constructor machines capable of advanced differential analysis will radically change what sort of machine-assisted calculations can be made. Research speed plus 4%. And we have bomb sights for our aircraft industry. Strategic bombers though, so... But plus 4% research speed is a no-brainer early choice. Wait until we get 150 political power so that we can actually make a choice there. Okay, Japanese young officer coup. A group of young officers has succeeded in toppling the government and reinstating the emperor as the supreme ruler of the Japanese nation. It appears this was a reaction to perceived threats of widespread government corruption and adherence to hostile ideologies. Already referring to the nation even more consistently in imperial terms, the officers have announced purges will continue until all unsavory elements have been removed from the military and the government. Emperor Hirohito himself has released a brief statement assuming the leadership offered to him by the rebels, and made clear overtures of reconciliation with China and the Western colonial powers in the Pacific. A sudden turn of events. The capitalists are banding together. Well, they kind of like us. I mean, before we turn communist, I guess. Second London Naval Treaty signed. Delegations from Britain, France, Italy, Japan and the US met in December of 1935 to discuss a renewal of the First London Naval Treaty, which restricted the number and size of cruisers and submarines. Negotiations turned quite heated over Italy's war in Ethiopia and Japan's desire to be seen as equal to Britain and the US. With negotiations now at an end, the signatory nations have agreed on limits to the size of battleships and aircraft carriers in the hopes of preventing another ruinous arms race. More money for the army then. So look, what are our options? We don't want to change any laws because we'll have to pay extra. We could get an extra political advisor. Who do we have here? Slobodan. Right. Ethiopia declared war on the Ethiopian Empire. Okay, we have completed established peasant councils. Basic machine tools have been researched. Guess we could go with mutual economic aid. Let's just hang on a second. Although we don't need it right now, because we need to get to 40% support for communists. This would free up some of our consumer goods factories, but frankly not many, maybe one at most. Could we instead do industrialization program? Or, yeah, could we maybe, while we wait for the communism to tick up, right, which is it is now doing, could we get to the second research slot? Maybe get Ljubljana, Serbia, Croatia. Get a few civilian. We could get 3 military factories. 210 days. That's probably how long it's going to take. Or, yeah, we could do this. In fact, we could even maybe get to the research. Or, we'll get to the trucks. The trucks, but if we got to the trucks, we have nothing to produce them with. Sadly. Yeah, we need 1, 2, 3. Why don't we do that? We'll launch the industrialization program. 2 times 100% research bonus for industry. Right, because the next things we are going to research probably will be industry. Yeah, there will be. We'll pick. Yeah, we need to research everything here. So. Well, then this is a bit useless. Add expanded mining industry. I mean, it's not great at the moment. But then we will get 3 military factories. Right, mutual economic aid. Yeah, we'll do that when we're approaching. Cool, yeah, and then we keep going down this tree. Okay. Let's go with industrialization program. No national focus prerequisites. 2 times 100% research bonus for industry. A program of rapid industrialization is required if we're to keep up with our neighbors' rearmament programs. Indeed, let's do with that. Go with that. I guess the non-aligned monarchist government has seen the rise of communism and decided to respond with an industrialization program in the hopes of winning over workers. But our research is finished and we have to decide between dispersed and concentrated industry. I always go with concentrated industry because factory output it gives you factory output plus 15%. But the only real difference between these is, okay, you lose the 5% factory output bonus, where you get production efficiency base plus 5% and efficiency retention plus 10%. So you kind of get to the top retention faster with this, and you get factory bomb vulnerability minus 15. Let's go ahead and try and go with dispersed industry. By spreading out our industries, we can ensure that it becomes difficult for the enemy to target in times of war. Hopefully we will have an air force to defend ourselves as well. Or do we just go for factory output? Which basically means once our factories ramp up, they will be 5% more productive. 5% more. We'll never have that many factories, right? But 4.5. I mean 5%. Yeah, 5% doesn't sound like a lot. Let's go with dispersed. Let's put this up to 4. And let's see how the world develops. Italy. Still going fascist. Germany. Fascist, 20% democratic. Hungary increasingly turning fascist. This is Bulgaria. I think that's growing. Albania. Albania would be nice if we could somehow get it into our fold. Okay. Pause. Modify government. What can we do with 150? power. We could change a law. Don't need conscription. We'd go to free trade, and that would give us construction speed plus 5%, research speed plus 5% early on, factory output plus 5. But that costs 187. Okay, civilian economy. It's too early to mobilize. Just for roleplay and immersion purposes. There isn't really a reason. Political advisors. We could get Slobodan Jovanovic. Constitutional philosopher. Political power gain plus 10%. Stability plus 10%. That's very nice. Except we'd have to overpay 40 political power. Okay, we have Ivan Rybar. Captain of Industry, Infrastructure and Civilian Factory plus 10%. As well as Railway Refinery. We're not building that much yet, so it's not that much of a bonus. Democratic Firebrand. Recruitable Population Factor 10%. Wow. Daily Democracy plus 10. Prince of Terror. Okay, Harsh Propagandist. Fascism. Communist Revolutionary. Milan Rasic. Daily Communism plus 0.10. That's a good one to get, since we're getting plus 0.2 with plus 50%. Right, we went from 15 to 20 already. But this is okay, 0.2. Democratic Reformer. Okay, just 0.10. Fascist Demagogue. Elusive Gentleman. Has created... Okay, if we have an intelligent agency, we can get this. Mihailo Miloradovic. Operative slots plus 1. It's a good one. Our other options are Industrial Concern. Industrial Research Speed plus 15. Military Theories, but we're not unlocking any doctrines yet. Chief of Army, to start getting that army experience. Army offense, defense. This is a good one to get. Only 100 as well. This is tempting. The more army experience we can gather, the better. But actually, what I'm most tempted by is the industrial company, because we get industrial research speed plus 15%. And we have already... We've completed one industrial research, right? But this... I mean, throughout 1936 and 1937, we'll be researching, what, effectively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these extractions, 6, these are all relevant. So for Yugoslavia, the fuel storage will be relevant. Tech tree, because we'll need rubber for the airplanes, we'll need to process fuel, we will get a little bit of our own oil. If we ever get to Romania, we'll have a lot of oil. We'll need excavation, right, because we do have quite an abundance of aluminium and chromium. So we'll definitely be researching excavation. We'll be industrializing, so we'll be researching construction, potentially even ahead of time. So we'll be doing a lot of industry research, a lot. So the earlier we get industrial concern, the better. I like that option. We'll be shaving off, I mean, each one of those, each industrial research is what, like 200 days? Yeah, so we'll be shaving off 20, 30 days of each one of these. That's a lot, over time especially. And the next thing to get, I think, is to assign a chief of army, I would say. Industrialization program. Okay, we're gonna... Something I didn't think about is that we're gonna get that 100% research bonus. What do we actually spend it on? It's nice, we actually get these maybe super quick. Right, because now, once construction is done, okay, construction is completed. I don't want to waste research on and, you know, pay the ahead of time penalty. We don't need excavation just yet. Let's do fuel storage. Enables fuel silo. It's only 80 days. So we just shaved off 15 days from this or so. Let's do this while we wait for that focus, and then we'll do perhaps, yeah, machine tools and more dispersed industry. Production. We need nationalist Spain declared war on Spain. Okay. Spain itself is communist and democratic. Fascist nationalist Spain. Okay. Yeah, what I was actually thinking about earlier is disbanding this tank battalion and selling those tanks. Industrialization program completed. How far are we from communism? 24%, so we have time. Let's go ahead and expand the mining industry then. Military High Command. This guy, Bomber, Interceptor, Interception, Attack, Defense, Agility. Not really worth it for now. Decisions available. Nothing we can really do here to boost communism. Let's just keep powering on. The games of the 11th Olympiad. The 11th Olympic Games were recently held in Berlin, Germany. Attended by athletes from 49 different nations across the world, the 1936 Summer Olympics are the first in history to have enjoyed limited live television coverage. The Games were a significant propaganda victory for the German regime, which spent lavishly on the event. German athletes saw the most success, winning 33 gold medals, while the Americans came in second with 24. 4 of these were won by Jesse Owens, the single most successful athlete of the Games. The Games are concluded. Okay. So maybe take the time to understand the focus tree of the communists. Once we get 40% support for the Communist Party, we can abolish the monarchy. And that will replace peasant councils with empowered peasants councils and give minus 20% to non-aligned. So we'll have 40% communist. Yeah, we won't have that high of communist support, frankly, I think, when we abolish the monarchy. So we then have to move quickly to Yugoslavian path to communism, to replace empowered peasant councils with supreme peasant councils, to stop losing daily communism support. Right? Okay, the Bulgarian government condemns the IMRO. Earlier today, the Bulgarian leader Boris III had issued an official statement showing his rejection towards the International Macedonian Revolutionary Organization and publicly condemning their activities. The Bulgarian Ministry of Interior has also announced the implementation of a package of extraordinary measures that will allow the government to allocate more resources to take active action against the IMRO and root out the terrorist organization once and for all. With this pronouncement, it seems that finally the Bulgarian government seeks to end one of the greatest sources of conflict and tension in the Balkans. It was about time. Turning fascist. Okay, it's turning fascist. Okay, we're kind of getting surrounded here. Romanians, our friends. Yeah, coming back to our national focuses. Once we do Yugoslavian path to communism, we have to do that quickly. Division attack on core territory, division defense on core territory plus 10%. Then we can go to form the Federal Republic. Treaty of Addis. Gojam, Ethiopia was annexed. 723 equipment was seized. Okay. Yeah, we need to do this and establish our little socialist state and remove all of the negative modifiers. 70 days, 70, 70, 70. So this will take 210 days. Plus this 280. Okay. We're at 30. Okay, so maybe one more focus. Fuel storage. Okay, we have 100%. Let's just pause for a second. Guess this is production efficiency capitalist. And let's do this. The earlier we get this, the better. So I don't mind paying the ahead of time penalty with the 100% research bonus. Seems a sensible thing to do. Expand the mining industry. We need ample resources to fuel our budding war machine. We should look forward towards expanding our domestic mining industry indeed. Let's develop our military industry. A modern military requires a heavy industrial base to support the necessary production of new aircraft. Well, indeed. Start with that. Yeah, seems like we were correct in that, yeah, we should aim to get a healthy aircraft industry going. What do we have here? We have Italian divisions moving in. Not sure I'm a fan of that. Dispersed Industry 1 finished. Do we go for Dispersed Industry 2? Production efficiency. Yeah, for more factory output primarily. Do it. Free civilian military. Okay, we're going to keep building civilian factories. Build them in Morava. Build a couple. Since we're getting 3 military factories through the focuses, we'll keep our construction on civilian. So we'll build one by 5th of March. That's what? December, January, February. So three and a bit months. So we can build 4 a year. United Mexican States. Declared war on Mexico. The forces of Church and Revolution have once again come into conflict in Mexico. With the government renewing its attacks on the Church, the embattled Catholic parties and social movements are launching an armed rebellion to seize control of Mexico. Cristero militias are reforming after a decade of inactivity, supplemented by defectors from the federal military. They have taken over several rural states and are using these as a base from which to operate. The first Cruzada ended with a settlement negotiated between senior revolutionary and church officials, thanks to intermediation by the American government. But it looks likely that this violence will end only with the complete destruction of one of the belligerent. The Mexican situation seems too complex for an outsider to understand. Indeed, mechanical computing done. So we have basically Democratic Mexican Republic against, I'm not sure what this is. Mexican Republic versus a mix of Mexican authoritarianism. Okay. What's next? Too early for the computing machine. A radio, perhaps? Construction. Yep. Yeah, that 15% research bonus is coming in very handy. We'll knock these out in no time, and then we'll free up our research slots for other things. Oh, let's just... Also, we have 150 political power again. Let's go for Chief of the Army. Army defense. Army morale, non-combat, out of supply penalties. No, we should be good with logistics here. Division, attack, and defense. I feel like we're going to be defending more than attacking, frankly. Hang on, let's pause this. 35. Yeah, we're getting the communism support alright. Let's start getting... I'm thinking our other option is to wait a little bit more and get either Slobodan Jovanovic and get 10% stability. But we'll get that when we remove the modifiers. It'd be cool to get the Communist Revolutionary and get daily communism support up. We might have to do that later. Let's see where we land with communist popularity once we actually abolish this monarchy or whatnot it is. Yeah, abolish the monarchy. Let's go with army defense. I think it is more likely than not we'll be defending rather than attacking. So Draža Mihailovic. And by the time we come to attack, we can always change this guy. The important thing now is to get 0.3 daily experience. We could have actually gotten that 50 days ago. That's a shame. That is an oversight on our part. And all responsible people should be punished once the communists are in power. Okay, develop military industry. Perfect. Yeah, let's get this going now. Let's get our aircraft industry, early trucks, civilian trains, artillery. Perfect. Oof, okay. Improved machine tools research. I think we're at 35. We have one more focus, I think, to do before we can proceed. So we can either get the research slot or we get the mutual economic aid. I think while we may tip over 40% communist support in 70 days, right, and this would present like the fastest time to abolish the monarchy, we can actually wait and increase communist support more. And I feel like over the long run, we don't meet the requirements. It requires one of the following. Now, we also should not have Croatian opposition. Okay, I did not read that. I did not see that. Okay. You know what I would like then? I would like army... I really want to do this. This is 140 days. And then we go mutual. I really want to get those trucks out, because we already started producing early trucks, which I don't really like, because we have to switch our focus. Let's get these, and then we'll get... Let's get these so that we start on those trucks. It's 140 days in any case. And then we go... And then we just speed down this path. Okay, let's do this. Okay, army modernization. The ways of war have changed since the last conflict, and we must ensure that our army keeps up with the times by modernizing its equipment and tactics. Let's do this so that we can actually get on those early trucks. And to be honest, I feel like we actually could turn off these trucks and instead put the third factory here just to help us for the next 140 days. Let's try and produce as much infantry equipment as we can, because we're going to be selling those trucks anyway. So, research. Okay, we have the improved machine tools ready. Turret lathes are proving indispensable for mass production, ensuring efficient construction and use of the lathes themselves will give us a significant industrial advantage. Okay, we're working on everything. Synthetic oil experiments enables building synthetic refinery. We can produce our own rubber, and we will need to do that later. So let's just slow this down. What are our other options? A radio. Nice to have, but not necessary. Still too early to even do the modules, because Even if we have the modules, we don't have the air experience to put them on. Artillery. Armor, no. These we should get some bonuses. Too early. We could do support weapons if we had absolutely nothing to do, but I'd go with synthetic oil experiments. Let's knock this out. And we have the bonus to industry research now. We need to prepare ourselves to support an aircraft industry by having military factories, enough rubber, given we have more than enough aluminium, and we need enough fuel capacity to actually run that air force, along with all the trucks we're going to be building. Stability is 36. Wow. Daily change only plus 0.06. Ouch. Oh, this is gonna take a little while. That's okay. I guess we have time. Although frustrating at the same time. We need that. I mean, we need Milan Rasic to get in here and agitate the people. Otherwise, might take quite a long time. Okay, we're at 38. It's okay. Plus 0.06. So it's 4 days. No, that's more like 20 days to get one. Yeah, okay, so it's 40 days and we should be at 40%. And we'll have plenty. Let's try to get to 50% communism support, and then we will do the switch. We could get Chief of Air Force. Air safety or ground support, air superiority. Let's get this guy. Poland declares war on Polish Republic. Since we've just started aircraft production, I think it makes sense thematically to get a Chief of Air Force. Here we go. Peasant uprising in Krakow. The young state of Poland has erupted into civil war. Decades of government infighting and a total lack of investment in infrastructure in the rural eastern Poland led to a general strike from the nation's lower classes earlier this year, and the continued brutal treatment of strikers by the police and military has split the nation in two. The peasant government, headed by Stanislaw Mikolasik, is backed by the Democratic Front Morges faction of the Polish military, and a coalition of Marxists, socialists and liberals, with loyalist forces consolidated in the industrial heart of Poland and the peasants in the rural east. Poland is divided by the blood of peasants. What will this mean for Poland? We fully support the Polish Peasant Union. How can we support them? Relations, send attaché, negotiate licenses, nothing we can do for you, unfortunately, but we are with you in spirit. This would be a big win for us. Dispersed industry done. Food equipment conversion. No, we don't need that. Extraction, fuel gain per oil. Fuel gain from refineries. Okay, I think this is where we can... I think this is the one research that is nice to get. Automatic weapons are becoming more portable. Submachine guns have already proven effective, and the development of handheld support weapons must continue. Let's do these 1918 version variants. Army. Oh, wait, okay, we are officially at 40%. Okay, let's do this. Motorize the cavalry. Read the background. New developments in automotive engineering have revolutionized the potential, the speed and mobility of army units. Our cavalry units must forego the horse and be equipped with trucks instead. There you go. First step to truly modernizing the army. Hang on. The Regional Defense Council of Aragon declared war on Spain. The Regional Defense Council of Aragon declared war on nationalist Spain. Okay. Anarchist uprising in Spanish Civil War. Keep our timer running, but continued government attempts at reasserting centralized control over the mostly independently acting anarchist communes in northeastern Spain, as well as Stalinist repression of dissident communist viewpoints, has now led to a full-blown infighting in the Republican front. Initially limited to street fighting and low-scale clashes between militias and government or Stalinist forces, the unwillingness for either side to compromise has meant the conflict has rapidly escalated in just a few days. The reallocation of military resources to deal with this internal threat means the front lines against the nationalists have been noticeably weakened. The Republicans hardly need outside assistance to lose. Yeah. So, I mean, we're supporting... They are kind of communist or non-aligned. I guess we're still supporting our communist friends in Spain. Let's see. Yeah, we definitely don't want nationalist Spain to win. Okay, we're at 42% support. Almost done with motorized cavalry. A little bit afraid that we're taking way too long to convert to communism properly. Instruction 2 researched. Finland declared war on the Socialist Republic of Finland. Okay, we've done motorized cavalry. Let's get on with mutual economic aid. The Soviet Union and Yugoslavia have much to offer each other economically. By establishing profitable trade agreements and arrangements of economic aid, we can greatly benefit each other. Let's do that. Let's also pick our next research. The excavation. No, too early. Oh, there we are, yeah. Let's research the trucks. 40 days. Hindenburg incident. Disaster was narrowly averted today when a diesel fuel tank leak was discovered on the German passenger airship Hindenburg as it came into dock at the Lakehurst Naval Air Station in the United States. The leak was promptly repaired. The leak was promptly repaired. Had it gone unnoticed, flammable vapor could have resulted in a fire that would have engulfed the entire airship. Critics have long questioned the wisdom of passenger airships given their spotty safety records, and this incident is bound to make them even more vocal. A close call. Well, at least disaster was averted. That's good. Okay. Okay, we have... Let's get our construction. Okay. Civilian factories. We'll build 2 in Moravia and 3. We're building 5 more. Even we have how many? Construction 10. We have 10 available, yeah, so 5 more would work nicely for us. And in terms of production, we're producing 17 per day. So that's what this will take us about a year to equip our military with the 1936 variant. Here we're producing almost 5 per week, so 250 per year, almost. About 220, so it would take us 2 years. So it would be nice to have a second factory on support equipment. Otherwise, okay, we're getting the trains. We could, to be really honest, just go here, sell equipment. High price. See if anyone takes them. Thundercross Latvia declared war on Latvia since we have enough for our own. Right? And we're building more. We're building, what, 5 per year. We have 45% support. Still growing support weapons. Researched. Very nice. Okay, not much to research. Recon company. Field hospital logistics. Interwar artillery. They're all kind of nice to have, but don't really change anything for us. Although, now that we do have air experience, we can actually allocate one of our research slots to aircraft, can't we? But we'll keep one on industry. There we are. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, we now have 2 research slots available. Let's go with production. Add a truck. Put him above the trains. Let's do boom. Okay. And we'll reallocate from infantry equipment to the truck. We'll move our Icarus up here, and these will pretty much just remain at one factory for the rest of the game, most likely. And what would be nice here? It would be nice to have at least one more factory. Now this would be nice, this would be nice. And this would be nice, given we'll add more artillery. So we need 3 more. And maybe a couple more here. We need 5 military factories would be nice to have. Let's get some steel. Get it from United States. No, let's get it from the Soviet Union, actually. Because they are our socialist friend. Let's do that. What is this? Motorized manufacturer. Oh, these are our trucks. Okay, what do we have? Reliability minus 7%. Production cost minus 5. Or reliability plus 5. Yeah, let's make breakthrough. Truck motorized rocket breakthrough plus 3%. High powered engine fuel usage plus 5. Max speed plus 5. Or fuel usage minus 5. Attached wood gas generator. Yeah, I'll do fuel usage minus 5%, breakthrough plus 3, and reliable. Reliable, and doesn't use a lot of fuel. What more could you possibly want from your truck? What more? What more could you possibly ask for? Nothing. There is nothing more to ask for from a truck. A recon company we could research. We could research interwar artillery. We could start doing some research here, but we have that 15% bonus to aircraft research that hopefully will unlock at some point, and we're still really far away from the 1940s airframe onto which I want to fit all of these modules. And by that time, we actually have, you know, hopefully 3-5 military factories dedicated to the Air Force. Fuel refining we could do, but we'll do that after this one. So let's do just the nice to haves then. Let's do interwar artillery. And let's do recon company. Sending smaller groups of scouts ahead before moving in the main force allows us to gather intelligence about where the enemy is and how many we're facing. Yeah, kind of necessary for any modern warfare. Hang on, let's just slow down here. Why are there so many Italian divisions here? Unclear. Have a look. Have a look at our field marshal, Milutin Nedic. Officer Corps. Army Offense. Army Experience. Division Attack plus 10%. Army F. Oh, that's, I guess, if he was our... He's... Okay, he's the guy who could be our Field Marshal. Can we change our Field Marshal then? Danilo Kalafovic? No, we can't. Capacity 5 armies. Why did that disappear? Okay, so it's just the tooltip disappeared. Let's... Field Marshal traits. He's a thorough planner. Max planning plus 10%. Strategic mastermind. Given time, the well-laid plan will be strongest. Offensive. Org loss when moving minus 30. Attack plus 1. Or defensive doctrine. Max entrenchment plus 30%. Organization first. Or charismatic. I think let's go defensive doctrine. I fear we will be defending a lot more. Especially at the start. 15 to assign this. Boom. Let's do this defensive doctrine. And this young man is a trickster. Okay, there's no promotions for him. Emilia Earhart circumnavigates the globe. The famous aviator Amelia Earhart, or Earhart, or not Earhart, known to many as the Queen of the Air, has completed a flight around the world together with her navigator Fred Noonan. After a brief scare when the pair temporarily got lost while approaching Howland Island in the Pacific, the flight proceeded without incident, and this morning their Lockheed Electra touched down in Oakland, California. A ceremony is to be held in the White House next week where Earhart will be personally congratulated for her feat by the President. Quite an achievement. Oh, hang on, let's pause. Who is this? Mexico wants to buy 2 civilian trains. Sure. I don't like this Italian build-up on our border. That is one thing I decisively do not like. To be honest, it's 1937. Yeah, let's have a look at this division. We're down to 24 tanks from exercise. Oh, it's fine. We'll just run this down. I was thinking of disbanding this division and selling the tanks, but I guess we'll just run them down during exercises. Okay, national focus completed, mutual economic aid done. Italy is influencing our politics. For a long time, the Italian government has sought to align the path of our countries and has often tried to meddle in Yugoslavia's politics. Recently, this has intensified as PNF started pushing their fascist propaganda with no respect for Yugoslavian political traditions. A number of speeches and other fascist material is already being distributed to the Yugoslavian people. It seems that even a number of politicians and other officials are being swayed by the Italian propaganda and have begun advocating for fascism in Yugoslavia. How dare they? And the Fourth International has taken place. A number of communist delegates from around the world met in Paris today for a founding conference. With supporters of Trotsky's theories taking the lead, the groundwork for the Fourth International was laid. Although it is still unclear what impact these efforts organized will have on the international political stage, the news appears to have stirred Stalin's suspicions. He has suspected many high-ranking members of the party and the military to secretly support Trotsky, and many of them are still alive. With his paranoia back in full force, he has grown increasingly reclusive. His distrust and instability have caused a crisis in the Soviet government. At this rate, the nation will be plunged into civil war. How many internationals will there be? Change in popularity of communism, 10%. Nice. Okay, so we're at 57%. We have completed mutual economic aid. Let's go ahead and abolish the monarchy. The monarchy is hardly a fitting government form for modern times, not to mention entirely incompatible with our societal views. It must be abolished and royal rule replaced with the voice of the common man. Indeed. And after that, we'll ban those fascist parties as well. Let's go. Okay, we have a fair amount of political power now. Let's go with... Italy wants us to sign a pact of non-aggression. Let's accept. I mean, yes, they're fascist, but we're far too weak. It's much better to neutralize our western flank, right? We're not itching for a fight with them anytime soon. So let's accept. They are influencing our politics, which is frustrating. But not the worst thing in the world. Okay, we'll save our political power for when communists come to power. Iran wants to buy 2 civilian trains. Sure. Going. There's nothing. Not much else for us to do other than wait for this focus to finish, really, is there? I mean, research-wise, yeah, synthetic oil experiments are almost complete. We are in mid-1937. I would suggest fuel gain per oil. Fuel gain from refineries. This will be useful once we complete that focus to find prospect for oil. Fuel gain from refineries plus 50. Fuel refining. Fuel gain per oil. King Zog submits to Italy. An ultimatum has been delivered to the Albanian government by Italian diplomats, demanding that they submit to complete military occupation. King Zog has abdicated after realizing the futility of resistance, and Albania will now be ruled in a personal union under King Vittorio Emanuele III. Italy looks to the Balkans, another victim of Italy's ambitions. Let's pause. Argentina wants to buy 2 trains. That's fine with us. What else could we research? Too early for this. Too early, too early, too early. Radio we could do. Let's just do fuel refining. Communism is daily change minus 0.02. Yeah, because we had those peasant councils. Wait, peasant councils giving us plus 0.04. Due to changes in other parties. Yeah, okay, we're losing communist support right now, and we're going to be losing it even faster. Message from the Soviet Union changes their diplomatic status with us. Guarantee independence. Nice. National focus completed. Abolish the monarchy. And there we are. We have communists in power, guys. And I think we can make a cut to the episode here. And, oh, let's pause. We're in September 1937. You know, Josip Broz Tito has assumed power. We're at 62% popularity communism. So largely a popular transition of power. So let's take a pause here, and I hope to see you in episode 3. Hope you enjoyed this. See you in episode 3. Bye.